with.
It's a lot of wear and tear. Boxing is a lot of wear and tear.
Yeah. And those guys are younger.
Yeah,
and hungrier.
Boxing is a lot of wear and tear. You can get old overnight.
He's so smart. He have everything in a fighter, a complete fighter. He don't have power in the punch.
Here, and this man over here in the cut, man, my brother, man. Caught my nigga slacking on the south side. What's good with the champ, man? I'm just chilling over some talkie, my nigga.
I think Terence wins. Yeah. I do, yeah. I think he's just bred different. You know, he's an alien. He's one of them fighters you watch and you admire the work he does.
Floyd Mayweather has issued a warning to Canelo Alvarez about Terence Crawford, stating that this time, Canelo is going to get destroyed. Meanwhile, Bill Haney has asserted that Terence Crawford possesses a flawless skill set and can win against anyone he steps in the ring with. He emphasized that Canelo is one of Floyd Mayweather's former opponents, and he believes that not just Canelo, but any opponent Floyd has faced could be beaten by Crawford.
Terence Crawford couldn't have an error to himself, and if you put Terence Crawford against any opponent on Floyd's resume, who do you have favorite? Terence Crawford or one of Floyd's opponents?
Why does Ryan keep mentioning another?
No, I'm asking the question first. Do we got Terence Bud Crawford beating everybody on Floyd's resume?
On the other hand, Roy Jones Jr., while breaking down the potential Terence Crawford versus Canelo Alvarez fight, suggested that the outcome largely depends on how Canelo approaches the bout. He explained that Canelo needs to bring his absolute best and focus on delivering a tremendous performance. Only then might he have a real chance to win.
You know, it's a hard one to call, and I'm going to tell you why it's a hard one to call. It's a hard one to call because it'll all be predicated upon how Canelo approaches the fight. Canelo approaches the fight like he's the man and he can box and outbox Terence Crawford, he'll get beat. If he comes out and shows that he really wants to go out and prove the world that he's still the best, he might win. So it all depends on which Canelo come to the dance.
Meanwhile, Tim Bradley, sharing his thoughts, mocked Canelo and confidently predicted a win for Terence Crawford. He joked that Canelo couldn't even catch a chicken in his last fight, referencing William Skull, and questioned how he would be able to catch someone as sharp as Crawford. Bradley also emphasized that size doesn't matter in the ring when skill is the deciding factor.
You got Crawford?
I got Crawford, B. I got Crawford.
Hey, what if I tell you Canelo by 10?
Canelo he couldn't catch a chicken in his last fight.
Ah, is that right?
Thank you. He couldn't catch a chicken, so how the hell he gonna catch Crawford?
With me?
Nah, exactly.
I think Crawford a little too small, amigo.
Oh, small don't mean nothing, man. Trust me.
Yeah.
Small don't mean nothing, my dog.
Amir Khan, while sharing his thoughts on the potential fight between Terence Crawford and Canelo Alvarez, reflected on his experience of being in the ring with both fighters. He praised Crawford for having a more complete skill set, but acknowledged that Canelo holds a clear size advantage. Khan also recalled Canelo's loss to Floyd Mayweather, yet emphasized that he holds both Crawford and Canelo in high regard, ultimately calling the fight a 50-50 matchup.
Who I got? Yeah. It's hard to say really because at the end of the day, like, Canelo is a bigger guy, whereas Crawford's more skillful, and also is strong because I've been with both of the guys, and I didn't really get much success with Crawford, but I got more success with Canelo. I was probably up on the points against Canelo, but I was down on points with Crawford. So I don't know, it's a hard one to call really.
You think it's like pick 'em?
Huh?
You think it's a 50-50?
It's a 50-50 fight. It's a good fight though, isn't it, bro? Because both guys are look unbeaten. And who's always gonna go because someone's gonna get beat. Even though Canelo got beat by Mayweather back in the day, but I mean
Amir Khan admitted that it's difficult for him to root for either fighter in this matchup, highlighting his good relationships with both Terence Crawford and Canelo Alvarez. He noted that Crawford played a significant role in helping him during his last training camp, showing deep respect for him. However, Khan emphasized that given his connection to both fighters, it would be tough for him to pick sides.
I'm gonna be rooting, I don't know, bro. I'm in the middle, I'm in the bench because both guys are very respectful. Like Canelo waved at me, and then very respectful. I'm good mates with Richie Schaefer, and I'm good friends with Crawford as well, and I've trained with him and he helped me for the last camp. So, you know, I got love for both guys, man. I mean, I'm just...
Meanwhile, Stephen Breadman Edwards stated that Terence Crawford has a greater chance of winning in a fight against Canelo Alvarez. He pointed out several flaws he sees in Canelo's style for this particular matchup and emphasized that Crawford's footwork, relentless pressure, and superior skill set would likely give him the edge.
I just think that there's certain kind of guys you can move up and fight, and there's certain kind of guys you can't move up and fight. And a guy like Canelo, like if Crawford was fighting Benavidez, I wouldn't pick him. You know what I mean? It's the downhill pressure, it's the size, it's the hand speed, it's the relentlessness of having to push that big body off you all night. I wouldn't pick him. But Canelo is more methodical. He's smaller. He's coming from a lower weight division. He slowed down his step. Crawford's longer, he's more agile, he's taller. He has better conditioning, he got better feet. Even though he's older, I think he's fresher. Although, you know, Canelo is a great fighter in my opinion.
Stephen Edwards confidently stated that Terence Crawford will beat Canelo Alvarez, highlighting Crawford's superior skills and noting that he sees no flaws in his technique. He suggested that despite perceptions, Canelo is actually smaller than Crawford in terms of reach and agility. Edwards emphasized that Crawford's speed and precision will allow him to land clean shots, predicting that Canelo will be badly exposed during the fight and that Crawford will ultimately come out on top.
I think that it's this guy. He can, you know what I mean? I think he can beat this guy. Canelo's smaller, shorter than him. You know, Crawford has a lot more length. Crawford's the better conditioned fighter. And the pressure that Canelo puts on you is excellent pressure, but it gives Crawford time to think. And Crawford don't make a lot of mistakes, you know? So he'll give him time to think. He'll give him time to get his feet wet. He'll give him time to pick and land his little shots. And I think Crawford's gonna have more in his gas tank coming down the stretch. And I like him to win the fight.
Moving on, Floyd Mayweather shared his thoughts on the potential matchup, warning Canelo Alvarez to be cautious of the threat coming his way. Mayweather emphasized that the pressure and intensity Crawford brings could be more than enough to break Canelo down.
What I have to say to Canelo is this. You proved yourself already. You proved yourself. You fought a lot of great fighters. You tested yourself. You went up in weight to numerous weight classes. Like myself and like other fighters throughout the years. Same thing with Pacquiao. You know, Canelo is a great fighter. Canelo is a hell of a fighter. He's a hell of a fighter. And everyone is now saying that he's not the same fighter. He's not looking the same.
His next fight coming up is going to be with...
It's a lot of wear and tear. Boxing is a lot of wear and tear.
Yeah.
He advised Canelo not to sleep on Terence Crawford, acknowledging that while Canelo has faced bigger names and built an impressive resume, it only takes one night to make a fighter look old.
Yeah, and those guys are younger.
Yeah,
and hungrier.
Boxing is a lot of wear and tear. You can get old overnight. You can. This is how boxing is.
Amid all the buzz, a new viral clip of Terence Crawford has surfaced online, showing him relaxed and fresh out of the gym, looking sharp and focused. With a dominant expression on his face, Crawford appears to be in peak condition, sending a clear message that he's ready to take on Canelo Alvarez in their potential upcoming fight.
Here, and this man over here in the cut, man, my brother, man. Call my nigga slacking on the south side. What's good with the champ, man? I'm just chilling. Nigga over here, bulky, my nigga, bulky.
Tim Bradley didn't hold back in praising Terence Crawford, openly sharing his thoughts on the fighter's elite status. According to Bradley, Crawford belongs in the same category as the greats of the past, possessing an incredible skill set. He highlighted Crawford's exceptional footwork and stated that whenever Crawford steps into the ring, he comes with the intention and the ability to knock his opponent out.
You know, but I have to say this, man. Terence Crawford right now is the best fighter that I have seen in recent years. In past years, he's a throwback fighter. I'm talking about back with Sugar Ray Leonard. I'm talking about back with Sugar Ray Robinson. I'm talking about, you know, Mayweather. I'm talking about all the top guys that came before us. Terence Crawford, to me, is in that category. He can fight off the back foot. He can fight off the front foot. The guy can fight from southpaw position like he is a natural southpaw, but he's really not. He's actually a right-hander. You know, there's nothing that Terence Crawford can't do. And also, Max, you know, he's mean. He's mean like a Pernell Whitaker. He wants to knock you out. He wants to inflict pain into his opponents. And I feel that his upcoming fight, I think he's going to be able to display that once again.
Tim Bradley went on to compare Terence Crawford to the best switch hitter since Marvin Hagler, praising his rare ability to seamlessly fight as both a southpaw and an orthodox fighter. He called Crawford the best switch hitter in boxing today. Bradley even boldly claimed that if Crawford were to face Floyd Mayweather in his prime, he would beat him without a doubt.
You know, by the way, you mentioned a throwback to you mentioned a throwback.
Yeah.
The throwback is to Marvin Hagler. Terence Crawford is the best switch hitter since Marvin Hagler.
The best switcher. Absolutely. And I think he might even be better than Marvin Hagler in that fashion. Seriously. At switching, yes. Better than Marvin Hagler. And you know, and let me tell you one more thing, man, Max. Seriously. If I could take a prime Terence Crawford, this is how much I believe in this kid, and a prime Floyd Mayweather, with all the tools that Terence Crawford has, I will pick Terence Crawford to beat a prime Mayweather any day of the week. Because of the skill set, Max.
When it comes to confidence and a champion's mindset, Terence Crawford is widely regarded as one of the best. In a recent interview, he stated that even if he were scheduled to fight Floyd Mayweather, he believes he would be the one to beat him. His remarks echoed Tim Bradley's bold claims, further reinforcing the high expectations surrounding Crawford's skills and mentality.
You or Floyd, who would have won that?
Me.
Oh, shit, okay, I'm just asking. Floyd was pound for pound before.
That would have been a hard fucking fight, though.
Man, me versus.
On the other hand, Canelo Alvaraz, who previously fought Floyd Mayweather, still recalls the tough experience he had in that bout. In an interview, he reflected on facing Mayweather at a young age, calling it an incredible learning experience. He praised Mayweather for his power and skill, admitting it was a difficult fight that taught him a lot.
I mean, you fought Floyd Mayweather at what? You're 23?
23.
That's so fucking young.
What's so impressive about him?
His experience, he's so smart. He have everything in a fighter, a complete fighter. He don't have power in the punches, but when you that kind of fighter, you don't need it.
You think that was the toughest fight you faced?
No.
What do you think?
I think it's tough fights and difficult fights. That was a difficult fight.
As the fight day draws closer, the anticipation surrounding the outcome continues to grow. Andre Ward is among those backing Crawford's ability to defeat Canelo, stating that he can't imagine betting against Crawford. He emphasized the strength of Crawford's mindset, noting that Canelo will have to prove himself as the best in order to overcome Crawford and change the perception surrounding their matchup.
I'm going with Terence Crawford. You know, big weight jump, a dangerous fight, but somebody's got to prove to me that they can break Terence Crawford's will and that he can't figure it out against you. You know, it ain't no disrespect toward Canelo, but I've said this the last couple of years. I'm not betting against Terence Crawford against nobody right now. You got to show me that you can beat him.
Backing Andre Ward, Conor Benn also shared his thoughts, asserting that Terence Crawford will ultimately win the fight. He went on to highlight that Crawford is not only exceptional because of his fighting skills, but also because of the powerful life story he represents, calling it truly inspiring.
What are your thoughts on Terence wanting to move up to face Canelo, though?
I think Terence wins. I do, yeah. I think he's just bred different. You know, he's an alien. He's one of them fighters you watch and you admire the work he does. He's just an all-round great fighter, lives it. You know, and when you hear about his story and what he stands for, it's incredible.
Ronnie Shields praised Terence Crawford as the smartest fighter he has ever seen. He acknowledged that while many point to Canelo's size advantage, in his view, that's not what truly matters inside the ring. Backing Crawford for his exceptional mindset and skill set, Shields confidently stated that Crawford can beat anyone, and it's not just Canelo who's at risk of being defeated.
It's a little different. Let me tell you something, man. Terence Crawford is one of the smartest fighters I've ever seen. Very smart, always in shape, you know, and he can figure out anybody. And there's no difference if it's two weight classes or not. If you have it here and you have the skills to match this, that's tough to beat, no matter who you are. It's not about power, just because you're strong don't mean you're gonna win. You know, that doesn't work. You got to have the skills in this game, and Terence Crawford has the skills to fight anybody in the world.
Reflecting on the matchup, Terence Crawford shared his thoughts, revealing his mindset and strategic approach to boxing. Crawford acknowledged that while Canelo is the bigger fighter, he moves more slowly, whereas Crawford, coming from a lighter weight class, possesses sharper and faster movement. He emphasized that his goal is to outbox Canelo with precision and control, stating that his focus is on beating him decisively, not necessarily chasing a knockout. If it happens, it happens.
I don't gotta stop him. I just gotta beat him. I'm not going in there looking to knock Canelo out. Could it happen? Yes, absolutely. You know, when I look at Canelo, he's a smaller, bigger guy moving up in divisions. You know, being that these big guys is slower, so they might catch him with something, but he might see it at the last moment. You know, they might catch him with a hard shot, but he's able to roll and turn with it. You know, because he's coming from a smaller weight class that was faster, that was sharper. You know, I'm coming from a smaller weight class that's faster and sharper. So if he get hit with a sharp punch that he don't see, he's definitely catching.
Carl Frampton also backs Terence Crawford to beat Canelo Alvarez. He pointed out that before Crawford's fight with Errol Spence, he had predicted a similar outcome but was mocked and ridiculed for it. Now, as the Canelo fight approaches, Frampton remains confident in Crawford's ability. He stated that, in his view, Crawford will win the fight on points.
I'm buzzing about the fight. I remember when Crawford beat Errol Spence, I was one of the first. Do you know what? I often say these statements and everyone laughs at me. Yeah. I say, is Nick Ball's going to beat Inouye, and now everyone's after Inouye's last performance, maybe they're not laughing so much, but I did say that Crawford beats Canelo, and that was when he beat Errol Spence. I got ridiculed and mocked and laughed at, but I believe he can beat Crawford, or he can beat Canelo. I genuinely do. I think he's a very special fighter, as is Canelo, but I just do think Canelo's maybe slightly on the slide. Canelo's slide, by the way, is still a lot to beat some of the most elite fighters in the world, but you know what I'm trying to say. I think that Crawford, I fancy Crawford in that fight. I genuinely think he can win on points.
Carl Frampton also advised Terence Crawford to stay on the outside for most of the fight in order to secure a victory on points. He acknowledged that while the outcome might surprise some, everyone is aware of Crawford's ability to win. Frampton remains firm in his belief that Crawford will beat Canelo and come out victorious in this fight.
Yeah, outside, stay on the outside, and he can do that. We all know Crawford can do that, and he can box his way to, you know, landslide points victories, but potentially may not be the most exciting fight in the world. I think that Canelo's feet are slower than they used to be, and trying to hunt Crawford down may be an issue for him. But yeah, I genuinely, and I'm even more sure now than I was when I made the statement then. Not that I'm sure, I wouldn't be surprised by any result, but I do genuinely think that Crawford has more than a chance to win this fight.
Amid all this, Tim Bradley issued a warning to those focusing on weight and assuming that Canelo Alvarez will knock out Terence Crawford. He challenged fans with a simple question: when was the last time Canelo actually knocked someone out? Bradley confidently asserted that such assumptions don't change the reality. Crawford will be a very tough opponent and has what it takes to beat Canelo.
Look, I'm not here to get rich off of this. I'm not here to be a YouTube guy or whatever. I'm just here to get my point across. That's it. A place to get my point across to you fans. The ones that love me, the ones that hate me. Anyways, I'm here to talk about Crawford Canelo real quick. Well, first of all, let me just tell you something about the fight to begin with. Canelo, don't run away from this. You already ran away from the Benavidez fight. All right, you don't care what people have to say about you anyway, about the fact that you didn't take the fight. I mean, you're walking around Mexico, walking around, you know, California, San Diego, wherever you live, wherever you reside. I don't know where you reside, to be honest with you. But you obviously don't care about what people say or what people think about you by not taking that fight.
Tim Bradley shut down the ongoing criticism about Canelo being the bigger fighter, asserting that this matchup is actually quite even in many ways. He pointed out that their height is nearly the same and emphasized that both fighters are regarded as top pound-for-pound talents, which makes the fight all the more intriguing.
That was quote-unquote 50 pounds heavier? Yes. Didn't we just see that? Beat a bigger guy. Canelo is the same height Same height as Crawford. Remember, Canelo started off at 147 pounds. He's not a natural 168 pounder. Y'all know that, right? Remember everybody saying, oh, he fought a 200-pound Berlanga. He's not even a natural 168 pounder. No, he's not. He's like a 160 pounder fighting at 168, right? Big and strong. Ugh. Well, Crawford's a 135 pounder. Yeah, naturally. But he's also strong. All right? But we just saw a fighter that was quote-unquote 50 pounds.
Tim Bradley stated that Terence Crawford is one of the greatest fighters of this era and clearly knows how to figure out a path to victory. He expressed full confidence that with his skills and determination, Crawford will find a way to win this fight.
And he beat him. He beat him with what? He beat him with his skill. He beat him with his tactics, his ability, with heart, determination, right? Had a good chin on him, right? Good defense on him, right? That's how he beat him. That's how he beat him, right? And we always say what? The great ones what? The great ones can do what? Yeah. I said Usyk is great. Absolutely. Usyk is great. I even said in the headline, in my headline, he's great. Fantastic. He's a great fighter. Absolutely. Well, you know who else is a great one? It's Crawford. The great ones know how to figure it out. The great ones know how to win. Right? That's right.
And there you have it. The stage is heating up and the world is watching as Terence Crawford rises as the favorite in the eyes of many boxing legends and experts. From Tim Bradley to Andre Ward and even Carl Frampton, the message is clear. Crawford has the skills, mindset, and movement to outclass Canelo Alvarez. Will Canelo prove the doubters wrong, or is this truly Crawford's era to dominate across divisions? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Who are you backing in this epic clash? Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more exclusive fight breakdowns and boxing talk every week.